All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever wondered what really separates the truly successful organizations from all the rest? It's almost never just one thing. It's about how everything, every department, every decision works together like a single fine-tuned engine. And today, we're going to pop the hood on that engine and look at the three critical parts: strategy, operations, and finance. This quote right here, it just nails a problem so many companies have. They're busy, right? Everyone's running around, there's constant motion, emails are flying. But is all that motion actually leading somewhere? That's the disconnect we're talking about today. That gap between having a plan and actually executing it with real purpose. So, how do you bridge that gap? Well, you need a blueprint. And this is it right here. It's a simple but incredibly powerful loop. It all kicks off with strategy, which tells your operations what to do. Then your operations produce results, which show up in your finances. And here's the key part: those financial results give you the feedback you need to go back and refine your strategy. We're going to break this cycle down piece by piece. Okay, let's start at the very beginning. Every great organization, every single one, has a reason for being, a core purpose. And that purpose is the seed from which strategy grows. Honestly, the best way to think about strategy is as the organization's compass. It's your true north. Now, this is so important because strategy isn't just some fluffy slogan you put on a poster. It's a series of really tough, deliberate choices. What are we actually going to make? Who are we trying to serve? And maybe most importantly, how are we going to win against the competition? These choices become the compass that guides every single decision that comes after. And the main job of that compass? It's to point all of your resources in the exact same direction. Every organization, no matter how big or small, really only has three buckets of resources: your people, with all their skills, your physical assets, like factories and software, and the materials and services you buy. A great strategy makes sure all three are working together to create value, not against each other. All right, so a great strategy is just an idea, right? It's just words on paper. Until you bring in operations. This is where the magic happens. This is the stage where all those abstract plans and big ideas get turned into something real, something tangible. And this slide just perfectly captures what operations are all about. They are the bridge. They take the strategic intent on the left and turn it into real-world impact on the right. You can have the most brilliant strategy in the world, but without solid operations, it's just wishful thinking. Execution really is everything. So what do we mean by operations exactly? Well, they bring this strategy to life by doing three fundamental things. They either make something, transforming raw goods into a product; they sell something, turning that product's value into actual revenue; or they service something, which keeps customers happy and builds that long-term loyalty. And that brings us to the third piece of our system. It is so easy to think of finance as just accounting or bookkeeping. But its real power, its true purpose in this system is to be a feedback mechanism. It's the learning loop, because every single thing you do in operations has a financial result. Ultimately, finance is what allows you to answer this one absolutely crucial question. After all that work, are we actually creating real sustainable value? Or are we just burning through our resources? The financial results, that's the evidence. It's the scorecard that tells you if the strategy and operations are actually working. And here we see it all come together. The loop closes. This is the learning engine of the whole company. Those financial results aren't the end of the story, not at all. They are the critical data that flows right back to the beginning, letting you tweak and refine your strategy based on hard evidence, not just gut feelings. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? A nice, clean loop. But how do you actually do this in the real world with all its messiness? How do you make this system a reality? Well, let's look at a practical framework for making it happen. The very first thing you need is a blueprint. A solid business architecture acts as the structural map of your entire organization. And I'm not just talking about an org chart. This map shows exactly how value is created, how it's delivered, and how it's measured, making sure every single activity is tied directly back to your strategy. Next, you need the logic that holds it all together. A strategic management framework is what connects that high-level plan to what people are doing day to day. It takes the main corporate strategy and helps translate it into aligned strategies for marketing, for IT, for HR, making sure everyone is marching to the same beat. And finally, you need an engine to keep it all moving. This discipline, often run by a strategy execution team, is what embeds this entire system into the daily life of the organization. It's the living, breathing process that tracks performance in real time and makes sure the learning loop never stops turning. So here's the crucial takeaway. When you stack these three layers on top of each other, you get a complete closed-loop system that actually works. The architecture gives you the structure, the management logic provides the alignment, and the execution discipline makes sure it all happens, day in and day out. So why go through all this trouble? What's the real payoff? Well, a system like this unifies your entire leadership team around a single plan. It prevents that fragmentation you see all the time, where the planners, the doers, and the counters all live in different worlds. It drives real accountability, and it makes your organization incredibly adaptable because you're constantly learning and evolving based on real results. Which brings us right back to where we started. With a system like this in place, you can finally answer that question with confidence. An organization that has mastered the flow between strategy, operations, and finance isn't just busy. It isn't just in motion. It's building real, powerful momentum toward a clear goal. So, is yours?